Welcome back, my friends. The news today is that Intel is working with bankers to present board with strategic options. This news is sending shares up 8%. Intel is working with its bankers to come up with a variety of options to help fix its flagging businesses. The company has been hampered by long-time problems and more recent missteps, and announced earlier this year it would lay off thousands of employees. CEO Pat Gelsinger has laid out plans to mount an ambitious turnaround at the chipmaker, which has largely been left out of the artificial intelligence boom. But, before we get into all of that, I would like to thank everyone who views my videos. If you would like to support the channel, please see the link to buy me a coffee in the video description below. And, please hit the like button and leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Intel executives are working with multiple advisors to formulate options to address its flagging business, according to a person with knowledge of the matter. Those advisors, which include Morgan Stanley and other bankers, will likely present Intel's directors with options at an upcoming board meeting in September, said the person, who requested anonymity to discuss confidential matters. The advisors are considering a full range of options, including splitting off and selling businesses, the person said. Intel shares rose more than 8% on the report in Friday morning trading. Bloomberg News first reported that the company was working with its advisors to come up with strategic options. Spokespeople for Intel and Morgan Stanley declined to comment. CEO Pat Gelsinger acknowledged publicly on Thursday that the company understood investor skepticism and was working to address it. "We realize we have to operate efficiently with nimbleness, with urgency," Gelsinger said at Deutsche Bank's technology conference. CNBC previously reported that some advisors, including Morgan Stanley, were helping the company on activism defense. Intel remains on track to launch its next iteration of its laptop central processor, Lunar Lake, Gelsinger said at the appearance. But investors don't see a turnaround on the horizon and have pushed the stock down almost 60% this year. The once dominant company has been trounced primarily by Nvidia, which produces the graphics processing units, GPUs, that are the heart of today's prominent AI models. Alongside a disastrous earnings report earlier this month, Intel announced it would lay off 15,000 workers. The job cuts, part of a broader focus on slashing expenses, did little to assuage investor dismay. And while Gelsinger said Thursday that the company's foundry business had roughly a dozen interested customers, the build-out remains costly for Intel. Intel has been facing several challenges that have contributed to its recent struggles. Manufacturing delays. Intel has experienced significant delays in advancing its manufacturing technology. While competitors like TSMC and Samsung have moved ahead with more advanced process nodes, Intel has struggled to keep up. Increased competition. Companies like AMD and Nvidia have been gaining market share with their competitive products. AMD, in particular, has made significant strides with its Ryzen and EPYC processors, which have been well received in both consumer and enterprise markets. Shift in market demand. The global chip shortage and a historic slump in PC sales have also impacted Intel's performance. The demand for PCs surged during the pandemic but has since declined, affecting Intel's core business. Technological shifts. The industry is shifting towards ARM architecture, which is known for its efficiency and customization capabilities. Intel's x86 architecture, while powerful, is less flexible compared to ARM. Internal challenges. Intel has faced internal issues, including leadership changes and restructuring efforts. These have created uncertainty and disrupted the company's strategic direction. Legal and financial pressures. Intel is also dealing with patent lawsuits and other legal challenges, which add to its financial burdens. These factors combined have put Intel in a difficult position, but the company is actively working on strategies to regain its competitive edge. Intel is taking several steps to address its challenges and regain its competitive edge. Advancing manufacturing technology. Intel is investing heavily in its manufacturing capabilities. The company has announced plans to build new fabrication plants, in the US and Europe, aiming to catch up with competitors like TSMC and Samsung. They are also working on their Intel 4 and Intel 3 process nodes, which are expected to bring significant performance improvements. Leadership changes. Intel appointed Pat Gelsinger as CEO in 2021. Gelsinger, who has a strong technical background and deep understanding of Intel's culture, is leading efforts to revitalize the company. Strategic partnerships and acquisitions. Intel is forming strategic partnerships and making acquisitions to strengthen its position in key markets. For example, they acquired Tower Semiconductor to enhance their foundry capabilities. Focus on innovation. Intel is doubling down on innovation, particularly in areas like artificial intelligence, 5G, and autonomous driving. They are developing new products and technologies to stay ahead of market trends. Expanding foundry services. Intel has launched Intel Foundry Services, IFS, to provide manufacturing services to other companies. This move aims to diversify their revenue streams and leverage their manufacturing expertise. Improving product roadmap. Intel is working on an aggressive product roadmap, with plans to release new generations of processors more frequently. This includes their Alder Lake and Raptor Lake processors, which are designed to compete directly with AMD and ARM-based chips. These initiatives reflect Intel's commitment to overcoming its current challenges and positioning itself for future growth. Intel's CPU architecture is not obsolete, but it is undergoing significant changes to stay competitive and relevant in the evolving tech landscape. Here are some key points. Hybrid architecture. Intel has introduced a hybrid architecture with its Alder Lake and Raptor Lake processors, combining performance cores, P-cores, and efficient cores, E-cores. This approach is similar to ARM's big, little architecture and aims to optimize performance and power efficiency. Meteor Lake. Intel's upcoming Meteor Lake processors will feature a tile-based chiplet design, integrating various components like CPU, GPU, and AI processing units. This new architecture emphasizes efficiency and performance, with a focus on advanced manufacturing processes. x86 architecture. Intel is exploring a transition to a 64-bit only x86 architecture, which simplifies the instruction set by removing outdated legacy support. This move aims to streamline the architecture and improve performance for modern applications. Continuous innovation. Intel continues to innovate with new technologies and features. For example, the company is working on integrating AI capabilities directly into its processors, which will enhance performance for AI-related tasks. While Intel faces strong competition from AMD, ARM, and other players, its architecture is evolving to meet current and future demands. The idea of Intel breaking up and selling off parts of its business has been a topic of discussion among analysts and investors. Here are some potential pros and cons of such a move. Here are the pros. Focus on core competencies. By splitting up, Intel could focus more on its core strengths, such as chip design, and potentially improve its competitive position against companies like AMD and Nvidia. Financial flexibility. Selling off less profitable or struggling divisions could provide Intel with the financial resources needed to invest in more promising areas, such as AI and advanced manufacturing technologies. Operational efficiency. Smaller, more focused entities might operate more efficiently and be more agile in responding to market changes. Unlocking value. Breaking up the company could unlock shareholder value by allowing the market to better assess the value of individual business units. Here are the cons. Loss of synergies. Intel's integrated model allows for synergies between its design and manufacturing operations. Splitting up could lead to a loss of these synergies, potentially increasing costs and reducing efficiency. Market perception. A breakup might be perceived as a sign of weakness or an inability to compete, which could negatively impact Intel's brand and market position. Complexity and costs. The process of splitting up and selling off parts of the business would be complex and costly, involving significant legal, financial, and operational challenges. Strategic risks. Divesting key parts of the business could leave Intel vulnerable to competitors and reduce its ability to innovate and compete in the long term. Intel is reportedly exploring various options, including a potential split of its product design and manufacturing businesses, to address its current challenges. However, no major moves are imminent, and the company is still evaluating the best course of action. Ultimately, whether breaking up would be beneficial for Intel depends on how well the company can execute such a strategy and whether the benefits outweigh the risks. But, what do you think? Please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. And, before we end, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions, doctors, including any type of specialty nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses, lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus, teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school, as well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorldNet.com also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So, be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Thank you for watching.